Hey guys! Today we're going to be making a doll onesie. I chose to make Stitch, but you can make whatever character you want. Let's get started! The great thing about this project is that if you don't like making patterns for doll clothes, this is absolutely perfect because it's going to be pretty oversized, so you don't have to be very precise. I first took a piece of paper and folded it like this. I then place a doll on top, aligning the center of the doll with the side of the paper fold. You then want to trace around the body and the legs of the doll to create the first pattern. Once you've done that, cut it out. This is going to be the back piece, and I then use that same piece to create the pattern for the front, which is basically half, and then approximately 5 additional millimeters towards the center of the belly. You then want to trace these onto some fabric. You want 1 for the back and 2 for the front. And make sure that when tracing the ones for the front, that you mirror one side. Cut that out, leaving some room for a seam allowance. And then pin the pieces together, good side to good side. Sew along the outer sides as well as the shoulders. At the bottom of the legs you want to fold and sew the fabric like this to create kind of like a pocket for some elastic. And then thread some elastic through it. Next you want to take one of the sides on the front and then fold and sew along the edge to make it look a bit more neat. And then you also want to sew along the inner part of the legs and crotch. And be sure to tighten the elastic before sewing over that part. Once you've done that, the main portion of the onesie is done. You then want to fold another piece of fabric and trace the pattern for the sleeve. And I chose to add a cuff to mine, but that's completely up to you. Trace and cut out the 2 pieces for each sleeve. Then place the edge where the cuff is gonna go, good side to good side. Sew the 2 pieces together, then fold up the cuff and sew along the same line. Lastly, you also want to make a pattern for the hood, which is basically going to be one piece, and then you want to trace that piece onto a piece of fabric twice. And just like with the front pieces for the onesie, you want to make sure to mirror one side. Fold and sew along the front to neaten up the edge. Then place the 2 pieces together good side to good side and sew them together. You can then sew on both the sleeves and the hood. If you don't have access to a sewing machine, you can sew the entire thing by hand. I did that with quite a few of my previous projects, such as the mint green prom dress and the Totoro sweatshirt. Lastly, to finish up the basic onesie, I sewed on some Velcro, and I didn't worry about making it look neat on the front piece that is visible right now, because in a second it's not going to be visible anymore. Once again, you can turn this into basically whichever character you want. Now, because I was making Stitch, I started out by sketching the belly portion onto a lighter piece of blue fabric. I then placed this on top of a sticky sheet that is meant for attaching patches. Cut it in half and then stuck it down onto the front. Now, if you choose to do it either this way or by using fabric glue, I wouldn't necessarily call the onesie washable, but if you choose to sew it on, you can definitely wash it. To make the pattern on his back as well as the back of his head, I used acrylic paint mixed with fabric medium, but you can also use the same technique I used for the belly portion. Finally, I made some simple ears and a tail. And for these, I again just painted on some details using a mix of acrylic paint and fabric medium. When attaching both the ears and the tail, I basically just cut a slit. Then pulled the pieces through the slits and sewed it on the inside to secure it. I made the face and attached it using the sticky sheet, and then painted on the final details. And that's basically it. As always, if you have any requests for other types of doll clothes you'd like to see, definitely leave your suggestions in the comments. I don't post doll clothes all that often, but it's been a while since I last posted some, so I might post some again soon. Really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.